to episode 43, or episode 1 of season 2, but episode 43 in total of BHP. Our King Mort d'Arthur.
Mort d'Arthur.
This is a bonus episode we're giving y'all.
Yeah, Benjo, I debated whether to do this. The start of season 2 has like several recaps, episodes, and some other, but this is one I said, all right, if I'm going to do one before we get to the chronology, this will be the one I do.
Yeah.
We don't need a recap. That's what we're doing, is literally recapping,
But anyway, let's get into it.
So Benjo, this is a story about how King Arthur was born. King Arthur, you know King Arthur, right? Now, I'm not talking about King Alfred.
I know King Arthur. Is he on our logo?
Yes, he is.
Is he the one that, or is King Alfred the one that, like, we don't know if he was in
King Arthur.
Okay.
King Arthur. That's really part of what I'm telling you here, is you're going to be like, is this guy for real?
Yeah.
And there's also much debate and speculation as to whether he's a native Briton hero or an Anglo-Saxon hero. Like, the Anglo-Saxons have kind of taken him over as an early Anglo-Saxon king, but we think the legend predated Anglo-Saxons, and that the legend was that he was a pre-Anglo-Saxon invasion, native Briton Celtic king, okay? And that he's being held up as a resistance to the Anglo-Saxons, in fact. And so the Anglo-Saxons have kind of taken the anti-Anglo-Saxon hero and used it as their own hero. Mm-hmm. It's all going to make more sense once we get into the Anglo-Saxon invasion, or was it an invasion that's to come this season. Are you as excited as I am?
No.
Bobby up top. All right. Bobby up top. Do you have a stick?
I know another Bobby.
But you didn't do it all right?
What? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Good. So Benjo, Mort d'Arthur is the story about. It's mostly about King Arthur's, the legendary King Arthur's father, Uther Pendragon. Okay. Uther Pendragon was a king in generally the southwest, it sounds like. And this, I think, goes along with him being the native Briton, rather than the Anglo-Saxon hero.
Wait, in BHP, y'all haven't started talking about King Henry yet, have y'all?
No.
Yeah, when does that come in?
Well, King Henry VIII?
Yeah, the one.
Because we're about to start talking about King Henry the First.
Talking about the one with like 6 wives.
Right, King Henry VIII.
Do you think you'll live to see that day when he talks about that?
I don't know that I will.
You think I will?
Yeah.
What if the podcast just stops and
Jamie had a kid in there at one point, so maybe the kid will take over.
I don't think he will.
No? You don't think? Will you take this podcast over completely when I'm dead and start listening to him?
Maybe. Wait, you never know. Maybe the lifespan somehow jumps to like 200 during your lifespan.
Well, anyway, Benjo. So, Uther Pendragon, he is fighting a duke in Cornwall. Mm-hmm. He's the king.
Cornwallen.
Cornwallen?
Cornwalls and.
I don't know.
Wait, isn't there like a movie called like Cornwall and?
I don't know that. But
wait, this is what I'm thinking of. Alright, that's beside the point.
Benjo, so he was the king. We're not exactly sure what he's alleged to have been the king of the entire island, certainly not. But he was a king, and he was fighting the Duke of Cornwall. Cornwall's down here in the extreme southwest of England.
Is it Cornwall and Oasis?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. But it was the Duke of Tintagel. And so Uther Pendragon sent for him and his wife, Igraine. Apparently he had a hot wife named Igraine.
Wait, how do you know she's hot?
Well, because when they got there, Uther Pendragon really wanted her. He was unmarried, and he really wanted her. And she told her husband, and then she refused. She told her husband, and then they snuck away. She and her husband, the Duke of Tintagel.
He needs some milk.
So Uther Pendragon was pissed. This is going to be a really weird story. Okay, so the king's men went. The Duke of Tintagel went to one castle. His wife Igraine went to another castle, and the king's men, they besieged. We're going to be talking about sieges. Sieges are when you don't fight a direct battle, you just go in front of a castle and cut them off from any supplies, and eventually starve them out. And
Oh,
they
you
have to
told me
surrender.
about that before.
Right. So he goes and he besieges, I guess, both castles, the one that Igraine and Tintagel were at. And Uther Pendragon was so upset he got sick. He just wanted Igraine so bad, right? So he sent for Merlin.
Bro was fiending.
Yeah. He sent for Merlin. Have you heard of Merlin?
I've not heard of. I've heard of Maryland.
Merlin
Are you sure?
in the.
Are you sure you're not saying Maryland?
I am, but you know, who knows? Maybe it eventually
Merlin.
gets translated into Maryland. I don't know. Merlin though, in like cartoons in Arthurian legend, sometimes is depicted as a wizard, right? He's like a shaman, wizard, magic man type thing. Okay. I feel like there's a cartoon. We'll show a picture of cartoon Merlin right here.
This is us hanging out with cartoon Merlin.
So Benjo, Merlin comes and he says, "Look, I'll help you get Igraine, but the child you have with Igraine, you have to let me or someone of my choosing raise this child." All right. Uther Pendragon says, "Yes, whatever. I just want Igraine. You can raise the kid. I mean, you weird wizard. You can raise the kid." So basically, Uther Pendragon kills the Duke of Tintagel in his castle, right? Then he comes to Igraine's castle, and he gets in her bed, and she thinks it's her husband, and he sleeps with Igraine.
How does she not know it's her husband?
I don't know. It's
That's
weird.
really weird.
It's weird, right? So
Ayo,
he and at this time he impregnates her.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and
That's
so then the next morning, I guess, she finds out the Duke, her husband's died. She mourns privately, but realizes that she had not slept with her husband the night before because he was already dead.
How does she?
So she's mourning privately, and the king the king shows up, right, and he marries her. She agrees to marry him. It doesn't say whether she was like under duress. Right. It doesn't say that, okay?
She definitely was though.
But they celebrate, they get married. She might have been scared. I mean, you would have to think she probably was.
Bro,
Right.
how did bro not know she slept with? Wait, are we sure? Who put this in the Chronicle?
This wasn't in the Chronicle.
Who wrote this down?
This was by Thomas Mallory.
Who's that?
I don't know, but
Exactly. So that means
it was
that-
written in this time.
And that definitely means that he definitely like raped her or something.
I mean, it's a form of rape if he was like pretending to be her. Why? How she didn't know it was him? I don't know. But yeah, it was not consensual. But they have this big celebration. Not six. A number of other kings in Britain get married on the same day. I don't know if it was.
Were you thinking of 6?
No, I wasn't. I don't know if it was all in the same ceremony, the same place. But they all celebrate with King Arthur, and they all get married too. All right. So 6 months later, after they're married, the king confesses to Igraine that it was him that she slept with, and she is very happy because she knows who her child's father is. And
what is that, brother?
but it doesn't say that she's like, what was all that? Why did you trick me? That was messed up. It just skips over that, which surely she had to have been thinking, right? So anyway, they have to give it also doesn't give her reaction to when they hand the child over to Merlin to be raised. You would think she would be like, okay, you tricked me and you're taking my child away to be raised by a crazy wizard? You know?
But
Oh, it's weird.
Her life went from living with her husband to, she's cooked.
Right. I don't know, but it at least gives the impression that she was not objecting to this, but she undoubtedly did not have.
I think whoever wrote this down is lying about everything.
Well, King Arthur itself could be completely made up. So yeah. Anyway, the child's born, is named Arthur, and they give him to Merlin. Merlin gives it to a guy named Hector, who's a powerful lord in England and Wales. Again, he says England and Wales, but he could be misunderstanding exactly when the Arthurian legend is to apply. So it certainly wouldn't be England. Maybe an English kingdom, but it wouldn't have been England as we know it. Well, it would have been in what is now England, but it wouldn't have been all of England.
I don't know.
Well, because England itself was coming together of all English or Anglo-Saxon kingdoms.
It was before it was officially England.
Right. So anyway, Hector's wife raises King Arthur. 2 years later, Uther Pendragon fell sick. His enemies were attacking him.
Oh, gosh.
Merlin said, look, if you get your butt up and go to the front lines, we need you to straighten some things out here on your deathbed, essentially. So Uther Pendragon is UP. It's UP. His men win the battle from an army against the north. So that tells me generally we're talking about British-held central or western against the north. I don't know about the east, but maybe they were in it too. But anyway, Uther Pendragon returns to London, so I guess he was in the east too. This is taking into account anything in the Midlands and the west and below.
Yeah.
So he couldn't speak, but Merlin said nothing else can be done for Uther Pendragon.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so Merlin asked him if Arthur should become king after his death. Uther Pendragon, all he was able to do, it sounds like, was speak. He told him and all his nobles, yes. That's all he said was yes. In response to the question, should Arthur be king after I die? Then he died, Igraine and the barons mourned, and then the legend of King Arthur happened. That was the prequel. That was the origin story of King Arthur.
That was an interesting story.
You think?
Yeah.
It was a little bonus episode. It did,
Yeah.
but we're not into the actual history part of it. This is more of a story.
Yeah. Well, had fun having you on today.
Believe you have me on. I'm not a guest.
I'm joking.
I'm the host.
I had fun doing this with you today, and we'll see you in the first official episode of BHP After Dark Season 2.
Right.
Complete